You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's
amazing.
possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit.
Yeah.
Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber. Awesome.
Yeah.
Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
America's Diesel Podcast. I just want to put something out there. Farts are always going to be funny.
True.
Fact. Check.
Yeah.
True.
I farted right before you sat down.
I've got a story for you. Let's get this intro out of the way first. Okay. It's a good one. I actually cried. Yeah.
This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Hey everybody, this is Ben and Tyler from America's Diesel Podcast, coming at you from Spokane, Washington, about to fill your ears with some knowledge about farts, possibly funny scenarios, other things, because they will always be funny. They will never not be funny.
Never not.
Fact. You can find us on Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find us by searching America's Diesel Podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram and the Facebook group. We do go live on our Instagram every Wednesday right around 5 p.m. Pacific time. Come have a beer with the boys, talk a bit of smack. And if you want to get some good banter going, a lively, spicy chat, definitely check out our Facebook page. It's America's Diesel Podcast - the group. There are 3 questions you have to answer. There are many, many right answers and many wrong answers. And I am the only one that approves people. So answer accordingly.
Yeah.
Tyler, reviews.
Oh, yeah. Keep those reviews coming in. We are moving up in the ranks. We greatly appreciate it. Leave your 5-star review on any of the platforms you listen to this podcast on. Screenshot that review. Send it to podcast at dieselpowerproducts.com.
Nailed it.
Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address so we can see a decal too. It looks just like our badass logo.
If you need parts, for your diesel pickup, make sure and check out dieselpowerproducts.com. If you see that quick ship logo, that means it's in stock, ready to rock. Get your order placed. Make sure you tell your sales technician that you are a podcast listener. Receive absolutely nothing except thumbs up from us. That helps lets the guys upstairs know that we're down here helping people buy parts, not just farting around drinking beer, but doing all of the above.
Yep.
Because it's very important.
Very important.
Okay, farts.
Okay.
2 things about farts.
Yeah.
1, okay. I'm going to paint you guys a picture of me in my bedroom, okay?
Okay. Did you pull out a Dutch oven?
No, but I don't know what this would be called, but it's similar to an unintentional Dutch oven, if you will.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
So it is, I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday night, whatever. No, I think it was Sunday night it was Saturday night because we're going snowboarding on Sunday. So I was getting a stretch in before snowboarding.
That'll work up a fart.
Yeah, right? And so, and my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law are in town, So I'm trying not to just like trash the downstairs of the house with my ass air.
Right.
So I get upstairs and like as I'm walking in, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna stretch for a minute and I'll let some farts out real quick. And I see my wife go into the bathroom. I'm like, cool. Well, she's gonna go in there. She won't be in here for a minute.
Yeah.
So like I get in to the room and I like light one off and then I go change into sweatpants and it's already like, I just released extra stink. Right. So I get my sweatpants on and then I turn our fan on. Right. And our fan is basically right behind me, pointing right at the door.
Yeah.
And I get down and first stretch I do, it just blasts one and literally like as the fart, like and the fan oscillates. Right.
Yeah.
So, and then my wife walks in right as it oscillates over my ass. And like it pounds me in the back of the head, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking up at her like, oh my God, she's about to get
just
nailed in the face with it. And thank God, like her scent has been, her nose has been like super messed up since she had COVID. So, like she seriously can't smell certain things anymore.
Hey, that's a blessing.
And I'm like looking at her, like walking by. It's like she doesn't even flinch. She doesn't even like you can tell when someone's ignoring a fart.
And you're like,
and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, does she not know? Like she walks right past, and I'm sit there for a moment until like, no, it stinks. This is bad. And she walks out and walks back in, and I can still the fan behind me is still just pushing ass air out.
Yeah.
And I just start like giggling, and I figured like once I giggle because she knows like. If I fart, I'm usually gonna laugh.
Right.
And she's gonna, oh, that was you. You did fart.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was a diaper in here or something like that.
Yeah.
And I start laughing. She doesn't say anything. And I start laughing more. And my laugh causes another toot to come out. She's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm on the floor like a tear is coming out. I'm like, you seriously didn't? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh, I just loaded one in the chamber, and the fan just like blasted you right in the face. Like if there was black light and you could see the mist of like you just got punched in the face with like my fart.
Straight up, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh no!" I'm like,
"Wow,
damn," because it's bad,
dude. It's I literally don't think I have anywhere in my house that is like okay to fart. My wife gets mad at me, and I'll be I'll be like, okay, if I have to fart, like I'll go in a totally other room, and like whenever this happens, for some reason. She has to go into that room.
Like right now, too.
Yeah.
Like even if you told her, like, hey, I'm farting, she's like, ah.
Yeah, I literally tried to do an evasive maneuver here.
Yeah.
And fart in a totally different part of the house. And you are like just, for some reason, have to go in there. And it's like, well, what can you do?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Go outside?
So our general rule is no farting in bed, at least when you're awake.
Yeah.
Sleep farts are okay.
Yeah.
And you do the best not to fart in the kitchen.
Fair enough.
Especially while you're cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah. I also, there are times like, and we've all been there too, like, this one's going to be raunchy.
Yeah.
Like I will open the sliding door and like stick my ass out. I don't care if it's 4 degrees outside. I'll lean it out there. Just try and get the burst out.
Dude, I'll be sitting on my couch with my pup. And my she's a big girl.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there and she'll like, kind of, I'm laying, I'm relaxing, and like her ass would be like right there, and all of a sudden you hear this, and I look over, and then she like looks back at you like, like what? You fart? I'm like, no, you farted, and it fucking stinks, dude. Like dog, like holy moly, some of the farts coming out of that little dog's ass. I say little, but she's not.
She's not.
But yeah, still funny though. It's funny to hear your dog fart. Like it's like you're like looking for something to watch, and all you hear is. We're like, all right, get it.
I still think that the funniest farts I've ever encountered were my little tiny baby girl.
Yeah.
Like when she was just barely born, so she was still tiny.
Yeah.
And she was on formula, and formula gives a lot of them. It will give babies gas.
Yeah.
She was just dropping these like dad farts. Like they're not even like. I don't care what you say, like, oh, girls don't fart. Okay, whatever, that's fine. Your babies fart. Okay. Yeah. But this thing, she was like this tiny little like nugget.
Yeah.
And you just hear these like deep bass rumbling farts.
Like, nice.
And I'm like, dude, are you okay? Like, there is no way. Like, you must feel so much better now that you did that.
Yeah.
Because, anyways.
Well, since we're kind of still talking that too.
Yeah. I have one more thing about farts.
Okay, well, this isn't actually about farts, but this is about I think we've lost the society, like our youth, we've lost them. I was behind 2 Subarus today, coming back from lunch. Both of them had I don't know what this is, but the rev on it and then pop, 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 pop.
The burble tune or whatever, yeah.
And they were like literally doing it like just back and forth on this like 35-mile-an-hour zone. It's like, you guys sound like kind of like that is like the new like black smoke, like a fad. It's freaking ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's like the fart cans on Hondas.
Listen, I don't think you should be allowed to have anything that sounds like that unless you have like 700 horsepower.
Yeah, or like a time slip.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you have like 200 horsepower. Knock it off. All right? Like, I guarantee my truck will give you a run for your money.
You need to check your tone.
Yeah. Well, then I'm sitting there and they're both at a light, and then I see this other car come in, and it's a chick and her window's down, and she like literally like puts her body out the window and is like giving them a thumbs up. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you, lady? That's not cool. I'm like, no.
And she may have a kid.
Probably by one of them.
Great. We're screwed.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So the other thing about farts, okay? All right. So we all know Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Yeah. Titanic, all that kind of good stuff. And there, if you don't know, he has like never dated a girl over 25. Like he legitimately breaks up with girls once they turn 25. Whether it's something he does all the time or not, like he plans it, or just it always tends to happen, I don't know.
I don't know why you know this much information about Leonardo DiCaprio.
So it's all over Instagram.
Okay.
People poke fun at it all the time.
Okay.
Like there's one of them talking about, I'm gonna totally butcher it, but relating Leonardo DiCaprio to liking 25-year-old cars. But once they turn 26, they turn like into junk.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a theory, right? There are many actors who have openly come out and said that Leonardo DiCaprio has like an unhealthy love of farts, if you will. Not like he doesn't sit there and like smell his own farts, but like farts are funny. Like every movie set he's always been on, there's been like he's hidden fart machines and had like whoopee cushions and he like legit.
He likes to laugh.
He legit like it happens and he's not just like it's funny. He's like he just like loses it. Yeah. Like it's
okay.
He finds farts funny as they are.
Yes.
Duh. But the theory someone came up was like, you know what? I don't think that Leonardo DiCaprio cares what age girls are. I think this is more of a referendum that girls stop finding farts funny at about 25.
Yeah.
And that's Leonardo. He hasn't changed. He's been the same damn person the entire time. But all of a sudden they turn 25, farts aren't funny anymore, and they break up. And that's why he always dates chicks that are under 25.
Well, I've always wanted to know why Leonardo dates chicks under 25.
I found it fascinating.
Thanks, Ben. Let's talk about trucks now. How about that?
Fine. We'll talk about truck stuff. So, a previous episode, we talked a little bit about my plan.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad. I kind of want to apologize to you because I kind of feel like I was a little hard on you.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck you, Ben.
You were a little hard on me, but I wouldn't expect anything less.
Okay.
I would take that exact same tone with you.
Okay.
If the situation reversed 100%.
Okay. All right.
So I didn't think that way at all.
Good.
Fucking Escalade.
Yeah. So this Saturday afternoon. This is an eventful weekend. Farts and snowboarding and stretching.
And all sorts of stuff.
So Friday. So I was planning on doing my alternator this weekend. Yeah. It's been sitting in my front seat of the Excursion because I've been noticing I got my little voltmeter just like it's just not doing as good as it used to.
Right.
And it's been getting kind of bad. Still starts, still runs, still charges, but I can tell it's getting weak.
Yeah.
And it's been fairly cold. And it hasn't been bad enough to where it's never dropped below like 10.8. You know, It's still doing okay.
Yeah.
And so I get in on Friday morning and I even told my wife, I'm like, okay, Saturday, since we're going snowboarding together on Sunday Saturday I won't go because usually my day to go snowboarding is Saturday mornings. I was like, I just got to get some stuff done on the truck before your family gets in. Okay, cool. So Friday, start the excursion, starts and everything like that. I start back out of the driveway and I look at it, my ABS lights on. I'm like, that's weird. It's kind of cold, but okay. So I like pump the brakes a couple times, like try and see what's going on. It goes off for a second. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. Yeah. Back out of my driveway, start coasting down my street, and it comes on again. I'm like, this is fucking weird. Yeah. And so I like, I'm like, okay, well, maybe my module's out or something like that. Whatever. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, if your ABS light's on, that just means that your anti-lock brake system is not working. Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't have brakes. Just they're not anti-locking. Right. Okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out later. Got to get to work. And so as I'm driving up the hill, the light goes off. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I come to a stop, and it comes back on. And then because my arm was blocking it the way I was holding the steering wheel, my battery light comes on at the same time. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. But the idiot gauge in the cluster is still showing fine. Right. But that's why I look down at my little voltmeter, and it's like hovering at like 9.9, like 10.2, sitting in there. I'm like, fuck, just gotta make it to work, man. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So, and it was fairly cold. It was probably in the teens that morning. Yeah. So like heat's off, defroster's off, radio's off, everything's off, headlights are off. I'm like, let's just make it to work, boys. Yeah. Let's just get there.
Using hand signals.
Yeah. And I like by the time I got to work, I coasted in the parking lot, and it was like 8.7. Oh, like barely running. Yeah. Luckily, this truck, does not require a whole lot of electricity to run. Yeah. It's, and like I said before, 7.3s are just smart enough to be dumb enough to be smart. Right. You can unplug half the sensors and it'll still run. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And this whole time I have a Mechman alternator in my front seat. And I kept it in there just because I had a feeling this was going to happen. So all right, cool. So at lunch, I go out and change it. And the one thing they tell you not to do is your alternator cable. The stud they have is bigger. It's a 5/16 stud. And they explicitly tell you in the instructions, do not drill out your old wire to fit on this. Yeah. It's basically because there's not enough surface area. Yeah. It's not because, whatever, there's not enough surface area. This is a higher output alternator in stock, so you need more surface area. So I drilled it out because I changed it on my lunch. Right. I went out, used my Harbor Freight tool set that we've all talked about, drilled it out real quick, put it in, truck started up, started charging. Cool, good to go. And so I'm driving home that night, and it's like hovering in like the low 14s. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, obviously the old alternator was bad. Yeah. But there's still some stuff I should be checking and cleaning and stuff, because that should be definitely not. I shouldn't be able to tell when I turn my fan on. Right. With the voltmeter, like it should be pegging like 14.5 always.
Yeah. You should be able to carry that load.
Yeah. So Saturday morning, I'm out there. Don't worry, the story has an ending. I'm out there, and I've got my swage. Is that what the tool's called? Swage? Swage? It's where you use it to crimp like wire end fittings on.
Oh yeah, I call it a crimper.
Crimper? Yeah. Hydraulic crimper. I thought it was called a swage.
Crimper.
Whatever. It's a crimper.
If it crimps it, it's a crimper.
It's a crimper. And I have some fittings from when I was doing other battery cables and stuff like that. So I put one on there, get it fit, clean everything up. I was actually very proud of myself because I had the wire loom protector. So when I broke the old one off, I put a new one. I put do it right. Shrink wrap around it, and then like another thicker one on the outside. Yeah. A little electrical tape here. Just get it nice. Yeah. And dialed. And as I'm doing that, my wife comes home, and I'm in there, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself about our conversation. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I am just wrong. I don't know.
Because what did I say in that conversation?
Your wife doesn't care. Yeah. Too long didn't read. My wife doesn't care. But and I thought it was a perfect time to ask, because she's like, are you going to be done in time? Because we need to drive that to pick up my family. Yeah. Because they can't all fit in the Escape. Yeah. And I was like, this is a perfect time to maybe plant a seed of just getting you an Escalade. Yeah. It's a little something bigger. Yeah. And so she's like, I'm like over the truck, or in the engine bay, and she walks by, and I'm like, hey, how do you feel about an Escalade? What if we got you an Escalade? Not a brand new one, but like, we just got you a nice Escalade. And she just kind of goes, and like walks in, and I'm like, okay, it's not a yes, definitely not a no, but definitely not a yes. Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, well, at least the seed's planted. Maybe she'll think about it for a little bit. She walks back out, and she's like, I don't care. I don't care. It's like, I like my car. I don't hate it. I know that's not big enough right now, but like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
And she's like, looking at me, I'm looking at her. I'm like, I'm glad I asked you this. She's like, why? I was like, I was just going to buy you an Escalade.
Yeah.
She's like, why? Well, I was like, because I got a little bit of money right now. And I feel like, I kind of like the Excursion. So I kind of don't want to, I don't want to say I don't want to give it to you, but like, because in the argument from before is like, she needs something bigger. And, I like the fact that Escalades are typically all-wheel drive. They're fairly cheap right now, and whatever. And she's kind of looks at me. She's like, "That's dumb." I'm like, "Fuck, Tyler." He's like 1,000% right.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I'm thinking to myself, damn. I almost bought my wife an Escalade, and she literally would not have fucking cared.
No, you were gonna buy an Escalade for yourself.
That's really what was gonna happen. But yeah, she was very adamant. She's like, I do not care.
Yeah,
like you should use that money for something else, because that would be a very expensive. She's like, I wouldn't be mad by any means, but like, it does not make me happy or sad.
Yeah,
I do not care.
Perfect.
All right.
Move on to the next thing.
And so after that's what really made me start thinking about, making the Excursion, Towmaster.
Yeah.
And I thought a bit more about it.
Yeah.
And this is the conversation I had with you like the next morning.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like, what would I need to do to the Excursion for me to feel like I'm not leaving anything on the table by making this a tow rig?
Yeah.
And the first thing that popped up in my head is Allison conversion. I want 6 gears. I don't know why.
He just goes to like the most expensive. Like, you might as well just do a Cummins conversion, dude. Like,
I know.
Like, individuals have towed in 7.3s with their okay transmission for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You're gonna be just fine, Ben. You're going to be just fine.
I know.
If you're going to put any transmission in that, I would do them fucking ZF6.
I wouldn't want a manual swap it.
Well,
if
you want to make it Towmaster, I'd rather do that. And that's way cheaper.
No.
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be.
I bet you all said and done, they're very close to each other.
I don't know, man. The standalone ECU or TCM for that, I think is more money than you think.
Well,
and that's an added cost.
So the only two ways I get to manual
swap and the adapter
swap
plate, that's like $1,000 or a little less.
Is like I either find a donor truck, right, or I just happen to get a ZF6 and try and like get it put in.
I think you will be just fine towing with that thing with the transmission it has. Why would you not just put the money into that transmission and build that transmission to hold whatever you throw at it?
Because I got
to hold all 160 horsepower that the thing makes.
Because I got a problem. Right?
I know you do.
Got a problem.
You have money in your pocket that is burning a freaking hole.
I'm so much more budget oriented. I don't have money. This is why I'll never be rich.
Listen, again, toys for your family. Whether it be you could buy your wife a dirt bike, you could buy yourself one. So you got the 2 kids, so that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
More difficult. Like, you could do, I mean, I know you guys make fun of 4-wheelers, but there's 4-wheelers you can get. If you're gonna get a
first off, my wife likes dudes and I like chicks.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with a 4-wheeler, dude. They're 4-whelers. Have you seen some of the 4-wheelers nowadays? They're freaking insane, dude.
In the back of Duramaxes?
No, dude. Before side-by-sides, I rode more 4-wheelers than dirt bikes. And they were way funner because you got 4-wheel drive and the power that's like, I remember hanging out with my friends I'm still friends with to this day, going camping with them. They had a brute force 750 Kawasaki 4-wheel drive 4-wheeler. That thing would pull a wheelie. Like, that thing was badass. It was a utility 4-wheeler, but that thing just got down. Mm-hmm. Like me and Kyle, which was my buddy back in the day, like we would just take that shit off into the woods. Like, it was
both
fun
you
as
together
shit.
on the same one?
No.
Oh.
Come on, man. There's nothing gay about four-wheelers, dude. Four-wheelers are cool as shit. I think they're cool. I don't care what anybody says.
I like them.
I think they're badass, and they'll scare the shit out of you. Some of the new ones. Like, look at the one that Brian has, that freaking Polaris 1000 that he's got. The one that Kyle sent off the freaking side of the road. Dude, that thing's wicked. I'm just saying there's options for you, or you buy a used side-by-side. Get a 4-seater side-by-side.
Well,
take both kids with you.
That's obviously that comes after trailer, and that depends on what trailer we get.
Okay.
Right.
Well, then just get the trailer, get yourself a dirt bike. Because you guys can't go riding like together, basically.
Right. So it would have to be the idea by making the Excursion, tow master, whatever you want to call it, is it would still be my daily driver. And I will say, small tangent on there, I still feel like we would need to have a third vehicle. I feel naked without a third vehicle right now. Does it have to be a diesel truck? No. Like I'm saying, like I could even find like just something.
Why do you need a third vehicle?
Because if the tow rig, his main job is to be tow rig, and it's an old vehicle, I got a feel I'm going to start finding things that fail faster, and it still has to get me to work.
I do like the idea of having a backup car too.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be
freaking Titanic, dude.
I know.
You're talking like sub 10,000 pounds.
Okay.
That's like nothing, dude.
I know, but I won't go fast. I just got to feel I'm going to start finding other things.
I think you have money burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah.
Find something that you and your family can enjoy together. And then on top of that, you could get something for yourself to go out and have fun with while, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a...
Here's other things too. This is also what I was thinking about. I can't park this trailer at my house. Okay.
Small problem.
I agree. Small problem. There are plenty of places that rent spots out, like locked storage areas that fit trailers, and they fit vehicles as well. I would love to not have to always hook up to the trailer, and that's sort of where also the third vehicle comes in, where I can, like, if we know we're going on a trip that weekend, I can stage it on Thursday night and have it there after work, drive straight there, pick it up, go get my family, and leave.
I'll be honest with you.
When I get home,
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done the staging. I've done... do you know how much time that saves us? Which I have argued that does... It cuts into your... When you're only dealing with a weekend, obviously, every minute kind of counts, when you're on your weekend, right? So having the truck already hooked up and everything ready to go is nice. In all actuality, it saves me about 25, 30 minutes. Because I can still have the side-by-side loaded in the toy hauler sitting out front. All I have to do is essentially hook the truck up to the trailer, which isn't that big of a deal.
And then, so I am playing a little bit of devil's advocate here, right? Because I'm always trying to make sure I think of all angles.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that Lynette is stoked on the situation. I can tell you what would make her not stoked on these situations.
Mm-hmm.
We get back, it's Sunday, we got to start getting ready for the week. We just got back camping, something like that. We drive home. I drop her and the kids off. Okay, I'll be back in like an hour.
Yeah.
I could see her just being like fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And like, this
it
is
depends
not
on
fun.
how much she enjoys it.
Right.
Do you think she would enjoy it a lot? Or have you had that conversation with her? Like, would she want to...
Does she want to go out and do stuff?
Well, no, like camping specifically, like have a camper and have something that you guys can go.
That's something she and I've talked about even like before we got.
So
married.
she's down. She wants it. Yeah. Okay. Then it's a. Listen, we had that same problem with when I had my house, like south of town. And we were boating at the time, and I had that tow behind boat that I left here because I couldn't park anything. I couldn't park it on the street. Couldn't park it anywhere. So we had that same thing. Was it a pain in the ass? Kind of not really. It was nice because it was here. And so, okay, like if we're going out Friday night or Friday, and then spending the weekend out there, I just bring it home with me and then load it up and we go. So it would depend on where you would be able to keep it. If it was like here, then it's not so bad. Because then Monday morning or whatever, I'm sure you could find a spot to park your truck and your trailer in front of your house for one night to bring the trailer into work and drop it off.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I can try. Like, there's not a lot of parking where my house is.
No, I know.
You know?
But if you like parked it right in front of your house,
I don't know.
I mean, we're talking like you get back, after afternoon on a Sunday. So is it there for that night, and then you're gone in the morning?
Potentially, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the other part with that too is like the ability for us to park stuff here.
Yeah.
That's going away.
No, I know. Yeah.
So that's almost. I'm not even counting on that.
Sure.
The other side of that is like, okay, we get back into town, we all, go drop the trailer off, and then go home in the same vehicle.
Yeah.
Which is just another
again
stop.
Would be depending on where you could get that parking at. If it was close to your house or something like that, that'd be
And then I don't know. I'm just trying to think through the logistics of it and try.
I've got the fix. Okay. There.
Lay it on me.
Okay. There's companies that do camper conversions on excursions. Have you seen the pop-up roofs?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, listen, you cut a very small hole. When I say small, it's like 10 feet long. Like 5 feet wide. Okay. It's a small hole.
Small guy.
It's a small hole. And you put the lid on, right? And it's got a little cranky thing or a little electric motor and goes bzzz, gains you like 2 feet, right? So you should be able to stand up in there. I think. I don't know. You can kneel.
My wife would be so pissed if I even like mentioned it. Like, we should do this. She'd be like, and that costs how much? Like, no. And see, this is where I end up back around again. We're like, well, if I had a truck with a camper in it, I can park a truck with a camper at my house. I cannot park a trailer.
That is.
And again, that's not that I can't park it. I'll park it up your fucking nose if you want.
Yeah.
But like, I can't. There's no room.
It's just
for
a space.
trailer.
Yeah. No, you're kind of in a tough spot there with that. I would like to see you in like some sort of actual like camper instead of like, because I agree. We almost did the truck bed camper thing until one, we saw the price of them. Mm-hmm. And two, the space with dogs. It's just me, my wife, and one dog now. But the amount of money that you spend for the space that you get is not like the money in those is the fact that they can put all this cool shit in a very small space, but it is a very freaking small space.
I agree.
Not that I need a mansion in the woods, but it's nice when you have a full size dog and just two people, and even if you have someone over or whatever, it's nice to have that leg room. I mean, you're in a camper. I mean, it ain't the Taj Mahal, but it's good pretty time. It's pretty nice.
It's pretty awesome.
So it's I would like to see you in that style of camping situation rather than the truck bed thing, because the one thing that you don't want to have happen is start out with like a truck bed camper, and that's all that like Lynette knows as far as camping, and then she hates it because it's like too small or you too much of a pain in the ass with the kids or whatnot, and then she's just sour about the whole deal without even knowing what else is out there.
I would hope that would not immediately turn her off of the entire situation because
of other people around,
and she can like walk into someone else's trailer. And, basically get like I don't want to say test drive, but like you can only look at a trailer so much in a parking lot.
Yeah, right.
But be able to go somewhere where there's other people that maybe have kids or walk into like to you and Cass's or something like that. Like, oh, okay. Like, so yeah, all right. And then get into it there.
Yeah.
But I don't think she would immediately write it off.
Right.
But again, this is like, this is the entry level drug. I'm trying to get her on it.
I think she'd be hooked, especially if you guys went out with us.
Oh yeah.
Like she would be Should be the only downside would be like the toy thing, because like everybody that we go camping with, we all ride. You know, we all have machines, so like I would hate to like be like, all right, Ben, let's go, and like leaving your wife behind by herself.
Well, but that's also the reason with the truck is
Yeah.
like I can tow a trailer with dirt bikes on it, or
Sure.
potentially side by side,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And she and I have both, we do both understand that the likelihood of she and I actually being able to go ride something together is pretty much zero.
Yeah.
Until our little one is old enough to ride.
Yeah.
Or someone stays there and watches her while she and I go, or something like that.
Right.
So it's always going to be like me and Ricky, or her and Ricky.
Yeah.
Or, that's basically it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
see.
I think you're going the right path. I think the Allison swap is ridiculous and stupid, and I would not do that. I would just spend the money on building the transmission that's in it. I mean, you could build a 4R100 pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's going to hold power. Yeah, you want the other gear. I mean, what's that going to give you? A little extra mileage, maybe one.
Oh, I could care less about the double overdrive is nice. I'm more looking at the gear splits down low.
You'll be fine. I promise you. I promise you, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I think there's other things that you could do to the Excursion to kind of really dial it in for towing.
Oh, totally.
Like, I mean, you could do it on board
Onboard
air.
air. We'll start looking at that.
Dig that. Like, I still want to, even though I like hardly use my airbags anymore, it'd be nice to have a wireless. I would go with the wireless route myself.
I would probably replace the rear springs because Excursions the stock springs are very soft.
Yep.
And not that I know I have airbags and stuff like that, but just I'd rather have the spring help out a little bit.
Yeah.
But that along with what was it? Transmission cooling. That's huge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I probably would look into some different type of intercooler. I would also probably be
I would
looking
look at a turbo upgrade, maybe.
I would. It would if I was to make that
Dropping
into the
KC?
tow thing, yeah. KC more than likely either stage 1 or stage 2 instead of like 160s or maybe like a 180/30. I would probably look into a water meth kit. I want this thing to be
See, all those things you just mentioned, even along with
less than an Allison.
Fucking A, man.
And just set it up.
Yeah.
An
I'll be
exhaust
honest
brake.
with you, dude. The Excursion is probably one of the best like road trip rigs.
Yeah.
Like it's for one, it's so nice to have all your shit in the back of your Excursion covered from the weather.
Right.
Not like, dude, we go camping in any weather. There's been times where I've had totes in the back of my truck that are just top of the lid, just completely filled with water. Like just everything's getting wet. Like I bring a tarp to cover up the stuff in the truck, but it doesn't really, it does what it can. But having everything in, like especially the, your equipment, your things that you use for camping, like I'm gonna go through all my camping stuff and actually get like the totes that we have over there. I'm gonna get like 2 more of those, so I can put all my shit in totes. So when we're ready to go, it's just like tote, go.
Yeah.
So everything is just dialed, and that kind of stuff it's kind of fun. Like when you have everything like ready to go.
Oh, having
hooking
stuff
up the
dialed
truck
is fun.
and,
Yeah.
I mean it's nice. I don't know, man. I think you should. I truly do. Whatever you got to do, man. I would. I know the parking thing is a pain in the ass, but again, I think you could figure that out. I think.
I would assume that a parking situation is probably going to cost me $2,400 a year.
Wow.
I assume so.
That seems excessive.
$200 a month.
Maybe. I don't know, man. I've never looked into it.
I don't know, me either. Because like ideally, I don't want it. I don't know how much it costs for things to sit outside, but ideally, I'd like it not to sit outside. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a climate control
It'll
area.
be outside.
Yeah.
I'll be looking into the same thing with my trailer once I get it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the toughest part. I mean,
maybe we just get a big one together.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Big one like our last purchase there.
Yeah. So we're going to transition gears a little bit here, guys. One of you sent us something.
Okay. This is my fault.
This is Tyler's fault.
Y'all are some dirty motherfuckers. Okay.
It's been on this table the whole time.
As you can see from our plethora of goods that we have graciously accepted from listeners, most of them funny. It works.
This one's funny too.
This one's funny too. Okay,
But
it's actually quite hilarious, and me and Ben have been
We've been throwing it around for like the last 2 hours, man.
and couldn't have picked a better color or colors, but this is my fault. I said, if you send us stuff, we'll throw it on our table as like a, hey, like that's cool. Like I sent those guys this thing and it's on their table. Like that's badass. That's cool. Because I like things on the table. Like I think it makes it more visually pleasing instead of just two dudes bent over there with his fake laptop looking at whatever. Like it just, shit to look at, right? Well, it's something to look at, and I don't know if you noticed this the whole time. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It's got a suction cup. You can slap it around and it doesn't fall down.
So, thank you.
One thing I did notice that on the box, it says new. Appreciate that. I don't know if there's a used
This
option.
one is now used.
Yeah. We've been throwing it at anything that looks like it can hold a suction cup. We've been throwing it at people.
Yeah.
I threw it at the HR department. He laughed.
Did you really?
I showed Cooper, yeah.
Did he laugh?
Yeah, he's like, oh, God.
Oh, God. Yeah. So, yes, extremely funny.
Let's see if you can hear this.
Yeah. I guess thank you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Will it be on the table all the time? Well, it
for
depends
those
on
of
our
you,
guests.
For those of you that can't see,
Yeah.
it's a freaking dildo.
It's a rainbow dildo.
It's a rainbow dildo, and they were so kind enough to the balls ended up being blue, which I fully appreciate. They did do it in actual proper rainbow colors, though. It's got Roy G. Biv.
Come on.
Hey! And for those of you that can't see right now, that's the game where you throw it and try and make it land in the suction cup, and it's honestly really fun. You throw it at a wall. It's got some girth to it. If someone were to actually throw it at you, it hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It might
hurt.
knock you out.
Yeah.
It's smaller than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, there she is. Will it be on the table 100% of the time? Again, depending on our guest, we might have to tread lightly on the rainbow penis on our desk. So again, yeah.
Maybe we should name it. I don't know. Pierre.
Pierre.
I think it could be French.
Pierre.
Oui, oui.
It's a wee wee. It's a wee wee.
It's a Pierre.
Anyways, yes, extremely funny. We had a pretty fun time with it. I will say the first time I did throw it.
You gotta stop saying shit like that.
What?
We had a pretty fun time with it.
Oh. The first time I threw it, stuck right there. First shot. Boom.
It did.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? You know you had fun throwing that thing around.
I've had a blast.
Have you?
Yeah.
It goes great with my Cooking with Semen book.
So, thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
See, I don't think when. Anyways,
It's fine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap this one up. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and for sending us these lovely gifts.
yeah, we'll just put that back right there, and just know it's back there. It's back there. You can hear it.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. So we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.